I want to rip the movie just so I can get that scene as a clip to use somewhere on something.
We gotta use it for something.
My God, this movie is amazing.
Speak for yourself, mortal.
The refrigerator. Oh
It
my.
is made of lies. False advertising. Give me the thing. Where's the thing? Look at this. The tagline: no survivors, only leftovers.
Plenty of
Two people alive at the end.
They're the leftovers.
Yeah, they're the leftovers.
No survivors.
Never give up, never surrender.
So this is the refrigerator. This is a movie I am betting you have not heard of.
Unless you were
And I really shouldn't have.
Unless you are a frequent viewer of trashy shit at Blockbuster in the horror section.
Yeah, okay, so the whole reason we have this in the first place is there's a company called VHS PS that takes movies like this that came out in the late 80s, early 90s and such, and never saw the light of day again.
Because the
original company that made them doesn't exist anymore.
The only way these movies made money was by cheaply putting themselves on as many Blockbuster shelves as possible.
Yeah, so they take them, put them on DVDs, and you can usually find them at conventions or buy from their website.
This is amazing.
This is a fantastic movie.
It's a refrigerator and it eats people and it's great. Oh my God. And it chases people around the room, and the first guy is like, "I'll unplug it." It's like, of course that doesn't fucking work. Oh my God.
Again, get behind it, push it over.
Leave the room.
Yeah,
Just leave the fucking room.
That's the best response.
It's not opening any doors. Oh my God. Okay, so there's this yuppie piece of shit.
Well, okay,
his wife, the actress.
Now, before that, the first thing we see is this couple who are just totally wasted, and I mean wasted.
Slamming trash cans around on the street with their car.
Yeah, reckless driving, the whole 9 yards. They amble up the stairs of their apartment,
which is 5 floors up, so they've noticeably winded themselves at the top.
Yeah. They decide to start banging. And it takes them all of 15 seconds. And then
because dude falls asleep.
It takes the guy all of 15 seconds.
And then they get eaten by the refrigerator.
Well, yep, they get knocked.
Well, girl gets up because disappointed he fell asleep, goes to get a cup, get a drink. Meets her, and I guess off screen slurps up the guy's body.
Well, yeah.
Raising bones.
So then we go to the couple the movie's actually about.
One is Steve, the yuppiest piece of shit. Oh God, I'm trying to remember who he reminds me of. I'm picturing the guy's face in my head. Oh my God. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. Oh my God.
Do you have any hints?
No, I don't. Anyway, he's
an asshole.
He is a rich
white
white
guy.
guy.
You do it better.
Oh wait, I do remember.
He's an asshole.
I do remember. I think he was the coroner in God, he was the coroner in what's that? Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. I'll look him up. The coroner on Twin Peaks, and you'll understand why I said this. But anyway, he and his wife, they got.
That guy is not an asshole.
They were looking for an apartment in New York City.
And okay, here's the thing. They meet with the landlord, and he says, how much are you looking to spend? He says, for a month's rent, about $400, and they laugh at him, rightly so, because
even in the 80s, in the 80s, that wasn't happening.
For $400 a month in New York, he'd get about the size. He'd get a room about the size of the refrigerator.
Miguel Ferrer, this guy, back when he had hair.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find a younger picture. Here, yep. See what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah, I see it. But yeah, so they say 400. The landlord laughs at them and says, "Why not 200?" And they go, "Why not?"
What's the catch?
Yeah, that's what you immediately ask when you get an apartment, a 2-room apartment in downtown New York City.
For $200 a month.
For $200 a month. That it does not fucking happen. But
Yeah.
they take it. Okay, part of the reason this guy is a yuppie piece of shit is he goes to work and he immediately starts brown-nosing the boss, and the boss wants fucking none of it.
Yeah.
And he's always like, hey honey, we might be starting a family, and his wife's like, I want to be an actress. Like, we talked about this.
Yeah.
And he's very dismissive of her. So, no.
Because everyone knows at that point in time, a woman's place is the kitchen, not the stage. Asshole!
Yeah. Okay, and Eileen is the wife, and she's not the greatest actress.
No.
I'm not gonna... She does fine, but she's not great. Not that she was given much difficult to work with.
Yeah.
In spite of her weirdly tragic backstory that actually didn't matter.
Yeah.
Apart from the knife. But, okay, so... I think the first victim is, after, like, the initial showing. I thought it was interesting that the fridge apparently had 3 lights. The yellow light for when it was just, like, you know...
The fridge.
It was the fridge. The red light for when it was in the middle of eating someone.
And then the purple light when it was seducing people.
Yes, and it was like it was actually very Lovecraftian in that sense. Apparently the fridge is a portal to something.
Yeah.
But it also eats people. Oh my god. And the way it runs through... Like, it's clearly... There's just someone behind it with, like, handles, sidling it around.
Now, I will say...
We never do see the backside of the fridge.
Nope.
I will
Because there's
say-
someone back there pulling strings to open it.
I will say the best part of the movie is... there's a lot of times where the refrigerator does this, like, dream thing to the people.
It overdoes that a little bit.
Yeah. The first time it does it to the dude, he, like, you know, he goes to the fridge and sees, like, his boss in there, like, you know, talking to him. And then he
Tiny
sees
amongst all the food.
yeah, and then he sees his wife in the door, and he, like, you know, and then he just wakes up and goes, I am the waffle maker!
I'm an awful
And
man.
he just got this crazy look on his face, and it's hilarious.
Just completely random, has nothing to do with the scene, whatever. It's just
I am the waffle maker.
crazy.
I am the waffle. Okay, I like this movie a lot. It is way better than it's getting credit for on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. But there are a couple of scenes
Yeah.
where the movie is weird and it's not on purpose.
You could tell this was a movie by people who had an idea, and they're like, we need to make this idea happen. And they
Good
had,
job, guys, if you're still alive.
and they had some skill, but they clearly didn't know how to do some of these transitions.
There was more than one occasion that I felt like the script was missing some pages.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, we skipped ahead a little bit. And then there's this one scene where the repair guy, we'll get to him, but he comes into the apartment,
But first he knocks on the door asking if she's seen his assistant.
and she's like, no, I haven't. Then he gets this look on his face, and he hears the television. He comes into the apartment, turns off the television. Eileen sits down like she's been scolded.
And he asks if she's okay.
And then he just leaves. And it's the fucking weirdest thing.
Yeah.
I
like,
don't know what was supposed to be happening. It didn't make any fucking sense.
Now, despite stuff like that happening,
On like 2 or 3 occasions, but yeah.
despite stuff like that happening, we still highly recommend
Oh
this
my
movie.
god, yes.
If you can find it.
If you can find it.
And you can. VHSPS.com.
Okay,
Yes.
but if you can't get it that way,
Oh,
I
we
have
Go
paid
made
to
for
a
this
convention.
advertising.
Go or a
No.
convention.
I have made it my mission to find this movie. And if I cannot find this movie online, I will put it there myself.
But yeah, go to VHSPS.com, especially if you're a fan of old, weird horror movies, because they have plenty.
If you are one of the people that enjoy going to Blockbuster and taking stuff out
Well,
just for the
that's
covers,
an interesting question. If he does that, is it piracy, and do the licensing rights for this movie still exist?
Since they're technically pirating it way worse than I would be, because they're actually selling it.
But are there licensing
They have,
rights
like,
to
a
this? The
disclaimer
company that
on
made
their
it
website,
literally
though.
doesn't exist.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I do like, there's one thing about this. It doesn't have like an actual MPAA rating, It just says EM extremely mature.
I mean,
Kind of.
there's no nudity. The violence is not very convincing.
Film Advisory Board rating system.
There is some swearing.
Is that like pre-MPAA?
I mean, the MPAA.
91?
I don't know when the MPAA got started. 91 was definitely post MPAA.
Yeah.
Huh, weird. I don't know, maybe this wasn't big enough to rate the MPAA.
Well, I mean, the MPAA, it's mostly for getting movies in theaters.
Yeah.
Because theaters will not carry something unless it's been rated.
And I don't know if this even ever made it to theater.
I seriously doubt it. Okay, so Juan, the super and the plumber.
So,
Super plumber.
so the credits specifically point out, so and so as
Hold
Juan
on.
the plumber.
It is his princess in another castle.
Technically,
So Juan the plumber is like shows up on like day one, and he is like stocked with plumbing and fix-it equipment, and he is a smooth talking motherfucker.
yeah.
And I don't think he's trying to seduce the wife. I think he just tries to seduce everyone he talks to. It turns out he's a flamenco dancer, and we get like a 5-minute, well, in movie time, 5-minute sequence of him flamenco dancing. I don't know why this character turned out to be the hero of the movie. I mean, the husband wasn't going to be the hero of the movie. He was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
We were rooting for him to die.
Who was Juan to the director or the writer? Like, why did he get such primo movie position? Oh. I looked him up. I looked up the actor. He's been in actual movies. Like, real stuff. Not so much the other two.
But he's he's clearly the best actor in the movie. Like
Paolo gets eaten after reading an Iron Man comic in her kitchen.
Yeah. So then they fix the sink, and he says, "I've got to go downstairs, but Paolo will take care of the fridge." And
Because it's like leaking.
and she goes off to do whatever, and he's just kind of chilling there reading an Iron Man comic, which, first of all, unprofessional.
Second of all, good taste in comics.
But then, like, the refrigerator jumps out at him, and he starts circling away from the door.
Yeah, like he was closer to the door than the fridge. He could have just bolted. But no, he's like, I'm gonna take care of this.
So
Unplug.
he circles around, unplugs the fridge, and then when it doesn't move, he starts, like, hitting it and mocking it, and then it eats him. Like...
And this movie also features the worst movie psychic I've ever seen.
Yeah.
She provides no useful information.
The psychic gypsy lady in Jeepers Creepers was more useful.
The best power this person had was creating running water in the middle of an empty lot in a shack.
Oh my god. And I was so fucking jealous of these two. Like, I wanted that apartment. That was a nice fucking apartment.
For
Do
$200 a month.
without the fridge.
Could do without the fridge. I could use a fridge. And then she's like, honey, could you replace the fridge? And he's like, that's expensive. I'm like, dude, you have a convertible. You are renting an apartment in New York City for $200 fucking a month. I think you can find it in the budget to buy a fridge.
Yeah.
Just, I don't like to assume other people's incomes, but I think you can afford it.
I mean, he had a desk job. He had to be making
Something. Yeah. I mean, how much money was the kid making in Big?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. He was like super hyped for that first paycheck, I remember.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, other than a couple of weird scenes and the main guy being a total douchebag,
Which played into the ending.
which played into it, it's a really good movie.
It is fun as shit. I have laughed so hard.
And the soundtrack is amazing.
Oh my god, yes!
So
It's not even licensed, it's just good fucking like horns and
I
shit.
think there were like 3 or 4 songs they bought for the movie that weren't like big name songs. The rest of it was all composed for the movie.
Oh my god. this movie was so much better than...
It had any right to be?
Oh my, yes! I'm just thinking to myself of all the, like, this was better than fucking Avatar. Fuck Avatar. Avatar cost billions of dollars.
Yeah, and I would rather watch this than Avatar.
No, Avatar: The Last Airbender was
Ah.
worse than this movie.
No,
I was referring to both Avatars at this point.
But the Last Airbender movie is
Yeah,
worse than this.
yes.
I would not say the
The
show
Last
is worse than this.
Airbender movie
Yeah.
is so much worse than this. Green Lantern is worse than this.
Yeah, I mean...
This movie is so much better for so less.
Yeah, like, they clearly had a budget, but it wasn't a big budget.
Yeah, no, like, the fridge effects weren't bad.
I mean, they didn't have to worry about fancy CGI or stuff. They only had a couple of those Lovecraftian dreamscape sequences.
Which looked pretty good, mostly because, you know, it's old quality and it's a cramped apartment, so you never
Yeah.
got a good look at anything.
Yeah.
But that works!
Yeah, this is one that used the limitations of its technology well.
Yeah, and,
Good movie.
the film, like, the cutting of the editing of the scene where he's replacing the lug nuts on his tire, that was good.
Yeah.
Clink, clink, clink. That was efficiently done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few wonky bits with the editing, but, you know.
My first movie would probably be worse than this.
But yeah, just a good, and even like when they did flashback sequences, they made them really super grainy and everything. Like they just, you know.
Those did feel a little extraneous in the grand scheme of things, though.
Well, yes, they were.
Because the mom got chomped almost immediately.
Like she shows up, starts scolding her daughter for not having proper cleaning stuff for the floor.
Techniques.
So she goes to buy the stuff, and the mom gets eaten.
Yep, gone. Oh god, and then there's one point where Juan somehow, like, flings a tie rod around the fridge so
Yeah.
it can't open.
Bull.
Yeah,
shit.
so bullshit, but it's like he's an action movie star transported in from another movie.
Like, I call more bullshit on that than the trash can lid managing to completely sever an adult human leg.
Yeah.
And more bullshit on the tying up the fridge lasso style than the damn fans that spin fast enough to knock their casing off and fly around while unplugged!
Oh my god, I'm losing my voice.
But no, that's what I call bullshit on the lasso cord thing.
Oh my god, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Also, I'm
a
still
great
not,
movie.
I'm still upset this movie lied to me.
Get over it, Jay.
Never.
But basically, the end of the movie is, you know, they bring Juan, the psychic, and an extra dude up.
Some random guy.
Literally, when he showed up,
Who the fuck is this guy?
So they come up
It's like
right.
a character in the room just
Yeah.
showed up out of fucking nowhere.
They come
Who
up
the fuck is this guy?
to check because they hear a commotion because the dude tried to put Eileen in the fridge, so she stabbed him.
Yeah, and then he gets swallowed by the fridge.
And he gets swallowed by the fridge while she's distracted.
Oh
They
my God.
they come up, they fight for a bit, and then the dude gets destroyed by the appliances. The psychic gets eaten by the fridge, and Juan and Eileen just leave.
And then they become a couple who do flamenco dancing.
Yeah, like
Which is the literal fan fiction ending of this story.
yeah, like
It is the literal. Someone watched this movie, wrote a fan fiction about Juan and Eileen going off and becoming flamenco dancers together, and then traveled back in time and made sure it was in the fucking movie.
Ship it.
Oh my god.
so. Try to find this movie.
Oh my god, this movie is
I don't
amazing.
I don't 100% know where you can find it aside from VHS PS.
It
Wait.
could be on YouTube. You know?
I will look for this.
There's a
and
lot of
I
stuff
will
on
let
YouTube.
you know.
You know what? I'll do it right now. Give me a second.
Oh my god, the refrigerator. The refrigerator, people. The fridge ate people.